Well, I have a foreign exchange brother from 46 years ago that we bonded, and we've been brothers from different mothers for 46 years. I went on my life and went away, but he stayed very strongly connected to my family, and we reconnected and rekindled our bond some years ago. And I met his kids. I became Uncle Bruce to all of his kids, and in the course of things, really became very fond of Daniel because he had a magic about him that I enjoyed talking with him. And in his passing, the last month before he passed, he shared with me on a park bench in New Jersey his vision and his dream, and if he survived, which he had convinced me that he was going to survive cancer, that he wanted to give the teenagers a place so that they could be together, because he had been shifted from room to room and hospital to hospital over the years of fighting cancer, and felt that they needed to be together to have their camaraderie. I always explain to people that I talk to about Proyecto Daniel is if they remember when they were teenagers and they felt like aliens, and I can recall myself as a teenager not feeling quite like I didn't fit in with the little kids, and I didn't quite fit in with the adults. So I'm from Rochester, New York, which is up in the Great White North this time of year, and it is very near the Canadian border. And I enjoy taking time off in the wintertime to come down and help with Proyecto Daniel. I evolved into the position of Santa. The first time I came, I assisted a young man whose bride had been battling cancer, and one of her dying wishes, if you will, was to be married. And Bernardo and Leah helped them make that dream a reality, and unfortunately she passed within a few months after their marriage, and he committed to Project Daniel to be Santa, and he did for a year, and then he was young and was getting different jobs, had a career building, and left the program, and I ended up stepping into the Santa's shoes, which has been a dream of mine, if you will, that I've always felt that it was very important to pay it forward and give back, and this just became a natural fit. I love seeing smiles on the teenagers. I love seeing smiles on the little kids when we go through the hospital rooms. There's a magic about Santa that makes me feel good in my heart, that I am giving back and that I'm helping put smiles on people's faces. And it isn't just me, Bruce Kioski. It is the image of Santa that I exude. There has most definitely been a lot of progress since the first time I came and was involved in this program. I have witnessed a great evolution in the last 5 years of the expansion into 3 hospitals with a boys and a girls room in each, all equipped with all the modern conveniences of a proper hospital facility, with handicapped bathrooms, which the first time I came I was just astounded at how primitive access handicap-wise was to a main bathroom in the hospital. So there has been an enormous improvement in, I think, the care of the teenagers, and I feel that even though there's an increase in cases of cancer, I think there's also an increase of survival, and I attribute it to the fact that the teenagers spend a lot of time together, and they provide each other with a great deal of moral support and camaraderie, and in combination with the volunteers that come in and work with them, I've heard stories of them teaching kids that came from far out in the country how to read, helping fulfill some of their dreams. Even though some of them, they may be very short. I've witnessed kids that I've known for 2 years fighting cancer, and they've succeeded in setting a goal for themselves and attaining it before they've passed on and become part of what we call Danny's Angels. And their life was cut short, but they did things significantly to leave from here in a better place, I think. Most definitely there's been quite a change in the teenagers that I've met here. It's actually one of the things that draws me back year after year is the positive support that I see that the kids here give to their peers. Going out and working with Danny's mom to raise awareness and raise funds to keep financing the hospital rooms and the programs that are all about teenagers and fighting cancer. And I think that everything that they have done has made the public in this country much more aware of the problems and the number of kids that are battling cancer and have had arms and legs amputated. That just, it breaks my heart to see these kids at 14 or 15 walking around without an arm, and wishing I could do more to make that disappear. But for the most part, what is happening here is an amazing family of orange, a brotherhood, if you will, of young people that have either witnessed or lived through fighting cancer. And I really, really believe in my heart that these are the people that are going to make the most of their lives and make positive changes and bring hope to the world, which we so desperately need. One of the things that I have become very positively or feel very strongly about is that this program would be beneficial in every country in the world, not just in Central America and the Third World, but all over the world. I feel that the United States, the teenagers really could use this program. It would benefit not only the kids fighting cancer, but the volunteer program that is evolved here has really put a good feeling in my heart that these kids that do volunteer are going to make changes in their life that would be positive for the rest of the world. And I really, my home country of the United States, I feel that the teenagers are lacking in the philosophy of paying it forward, and this would be a golden opportunity for them to be involved in something that would make them feel good about themselves. And lately I've been hearing more and more reports of suicide in the United States in high schools. The town I live in right now, they had 4 suicides in the last year, and I just feel that if there was such a thing as the Proyecto Daniel volunteer program available, I think it gives them a place to feel a purpose. And I feel that by the virtue of them taking their own lives, they felt like they didn't have any purpose in this world. You know, it's funny, the first time I met Danny was in his teenage years, and he had already been diagnosed with cancer, and he was in the early stages. But I witnessed him go through multiple surgeries, graduate from high school, get accepted into college. We have family photos of the Arce family and the Kioski family having picnics on my parents' back deck on the house. We had a phenomenal gathering at my brother's house and a bonfire prior to Danny and my daughter Megan, who were the same age, going off to college. But there was something about Danny from the day I met him that I felt he was a special kid. He was very musically inclined, could sing and play the guitar, much like his father, but better. I witnessed the two of them singing and playing the guitar together, which was a very special moment for me. And unfortunately, it was probably one of the last times Danny picked up a guitar. And they sang "Raindrops Are Falling on My Head," and that moment will be etched in my mind for the rest of my life. Hola, familia naranja. Feliz Navidad. Ho, ho, ho.